What's up, everybody? It's the Common Sense Investor coming at you with another video. Yeah, I'm getting old. The Forex market will do that to you. I'm over there crushing it, people, but I had to turn my attention away from the Forex market and making money every day back to this crap. Now, I'm going to share some things with y'all. If we're going to beat these people, you need to understand who these people are. Now, I've always made it clear that the people that are against retail investors are mostly Republican senators and House members. So I've known who the enemy's been all along, and I was just hoping, along with everybody else, that when Trump come in, that he would do something about the naked shorting. But it appears as if he is letting them do what they want because they're letting him do what he wants. See, I've been listening to all of y'all. I watch y'all's videos every day, and I hear people talk about the Trump oligarchy. Let's talk about that. Number one, there is no Trump oligarchy. All right. Elon is there at the pleasure of the president. Trump is not an oligarchy kind of guy. He's a monarchy kind of guy. He's the king, all right? And there is nobody equal to him. There is no oligarchy that Trump runs with, all right? The oligarchy works for Trump now. Trump has taken the throne, and the oligarchy is going to get it in line with his sayings. And the true oligarchy that we fight, all right, is the ones that are running the financial markets, all right? And that's the people that the Republicans support. Democrats don't support the stock market theft, all right? They accept their kickbacks, don't get me wrong, but it was Maxine Waters who was bringing it to King Griffin's ass at that GameStop hearing. Don't forget that. Because why? They know that's the Republican money base. All right. Why do you think when Trump came in, he attacked US AIDS, okay, and all these other programs and freezing the assets going out because he knows that's their money and he's frozen their assets and they can't use that money to pay for protesters and so forth like that because their funds are frozen. Y'all gonna catch on one day to what's really going on. All right. Now, if we ever hope to win against the oligarchy that controls the market, the mafia that controls the market, then we have to get the Republicans on our side. And now, if that is going to happen, you're going to need the Democrats. So I told Donahue, I said, Caroline Levitt said something today that makes me so mad that I'm willing to come out of retirement and do a video and expose the truth. Now, listen, I seen a video. What did she say that made me mad? I'll tell you in a second. Let me give you some background context first, okay? Justin Trudeau put out a video today, and it was a plea to Donald Trump. And he's saying, look, man, we have done everything you have asked. You wanted troops at the border. We sent troops at the border. You wanted the illegal crossings to stop, and we have stopped it. And only 1% of the fentanyl that comes into the United States comes across the Canadian border. That's a success. When you stopped it all but 1%, that's a pretty good stoppage. All right. And he said, what else can we do? Now, in the meeting with Caroline today at the press meeting, the reporter asked her, Trudeau said, what else can they do? They don't want a tariff war. They can't win a tariff war with us. Okay. We are the big dogs. So I wish people could understand that. Trudeau bowed the knee and says, man, what else do you want? We don't want this fucking war. And he said, we're going to stop the fentanyl from coming across that border. Only 1%. We've stopped it. People are dying from the fentanyl. They play the sympathy card. All right. And you're going to stand with murders and rapists and people that are killing Americans with fentanyl. And we got to stop it. And if it takes a 25% tariff, but we've stopped it. Canada says, what is your issue? Well, before I tell you what that issue is, let me tell you something. When that reporter asked her that, she said, well, back to the Republican talking point, this person has died from fentanyl, and you don't understand what the fentanyl death does to a family, and woo, woo, woo. And it does. I'm not making light of that. I'm just saying it makes me mad they use it as a talking point when you're going to catch on in a second. Let's talk Democrats. Get your pen and paper ready because this is important. The Republicans can't have it both ways. All right. And this is how you beat them. The Republicans can't have it both ways. What has happened at that southern border since Trump took office? He has stopped 98% of the illegal crossings that are came into this country. They put a wall up and they said, nobody's coming through this motherfucker. And that's a wrap. Now, a handful of some are getting through. But overall, 98% of the illegal people coming across that border has stopped. They have solved the crisis at the border. And Trump talked about that in his speech. And he said it didn't take laws being passed. It took a new president. Wait a minute. How's fentanyl coming into this country? It's coming across with the illegal immigrants that are crossing that border illegally on a daily basis. They're bringing this stuff into this country and it's killing our people. Put the brakes on, Republicans. You can't have it both ways. Either the border is closed, and therefore, with all illegal immigrants coming across this border is over, then there is no fentanyl crossing that border, not through the immigrants. So why are you blaming the illegal immigrants bringing the fentanyl into the country, but you're saying that the flow of immigration has stopped? So then that means the flow of fentanyl has stopped too. So the tariffs due to the fentanyl crisis is bullshit. All right. Now, since I don't have an editor, I'm just going to keep ranting and telling y'all that when that reporter asked that woman, and she told him in the end when she could not defeat what he was saying, what else do they have to do? She told him, shut up, that he wasn't the president. All right. It's not on him to make a decision on how to run this country. It's Trump's. So that was her response. And I looked and I said, what the fuck did she just say? Did she just tell that reporter who has the same question I got that if the borders closed over there in Canada, why are you fucking with Canada? If you're going to tell me, because he's got the same question as I got, why are you messing with Canada? The flow of fentanyl has stopped. And you tell me to shut up, sit down, report only what you're told because Trump's in charge. Bullshit. There is no fentanyl crisis, people. People are dying from fentanyl, yes, and it's a very deadly drug. And it's sad that it's got to the point that it is in this country. But you cannot believe the rhetoric of the Republicans that the tariffs are the reason for the fentanyl crisis. Now, what's the purpose of the tariffs? The purpose of the tariff, people, I can't believe it. A lot of people just don't catch on to this shit. It's very simple. What did Trump say in his speech the other day? He said that Greenland, we welcome you. All right. If you want to come into the fold and be America, we'll welcome you. But you're coming one way or the other. That's what he told them people. He just threw the gauntlet down and said, Greenland is going to be America's, period. And what's between us and Greenland? Canada. So we want to make Canada the 51st state, all right, because it's between his goal of Greenland so that we can control Greenland, Canada, and North America. And what's going on with Canada, with Mexico? They don't have no more illegals coming across the border. We're fixing to cross the border and kick the cartel's ass, they said. Or are we taking over their country? Then we're going to have Greenland, Canada, North America, Mexico, Where do you stop? That's what's going on, people. Now, all that saying, how do we defeat these son of bitches in the stock market? Republicans, you need new talking points. The shit you're pulling off ain't working. That sitting there last night was stupid. That was the stupid. You need to fire whoever told y'all to do that shit. You were supposed to come in there respectful, sit down whenever you disagreed. But when good shit was said, the Bible says agree with your adversary quickly along the way. And you won't agree, even when they're right. And see, you cannot turn an enemy into an ally by constantly disagreeing with them, even when they're right. All right, now let's talk about this. Well, what do they write about, CSI? What can the Democrats agree with the Republicans right now and gain some footage? All right, understand something. The Republicans have the high ground. They have what's the moral high ground. They can always point and say, look at the results of this. And they are with that side. They want people to die from fentanyl. All right. They want people to come across this border illegally and overwhelm our system. They're trying to defend, they're trying to tear down our country for some ungodly reason. But there's common ground. When they talk about we need to round up these criminal, illegal aliens, the Democrats can agree with that and say, you're right. The Lincoln rally should have never happened. The woman who was raped by 3 men or something like that in the park shouldn't have happened if they wouldn't have been in this country. The Democrats can agree with that. But you want to know something else? And they should be deported. They need to agree with that. But now, where do they overtake the moral high ground? By saying, let's go to Abu Ghraib and inspect that prison. And let's make sure that these prisoners that we have are being treated with dignity and respect because they're human beings. Even in the American judicial system, prisoners have rights. Just because you're a prisoner does not mean you don't have a constitutional right in America. Now, they don't have a constitutional right because they're not Americans. So, to understand that the moral high ground belongs to the Republicans and you have to get it back. All right. And the only way to get it back is to first agree with them and get on the moral high ground and say, they're right. We have to round up these illegal criminal aliens that are hurting Americans, that are overtaking apartment complexes and selling drugs in our communities and raping the women and killing men because they had that man there last night or a picture of him about his family and how he'll never return home. All right. You can agree with that. And then you take a higher moral ground and say, we need to check these facilities that are holding these illegal immigrants that you're rounding up. Yeah, we need to make sure that they're at least being treated with human dignity because what's going on at Abu Ghraib is the same shit that's probably happened there and they've had to shut it down, remember? But they tell you, well, these are just murderers. These are criminals. You're siding with a criminal? No, I'm siding with the human fairness that if you're going to have somebody incarcerated, you at least have to give them some human dignity. And I can guarantee you, if if the Democrats would at least get on the same high ground as the Republicans and say it's wrong and it needs to be fixed and they're right, and then they can step up to the next moral high ground that says, but we have to treat people with dignity. Even though they're criminals, they have to be treated with dignity. That's how the Democrats can beat the Republicans. Now, the next thing is how do we take these son of bitches down out of Wall Street? You need the political clout. The Democrats can have that. That's why I'm telling the Democrats this is how you do it. Because once you get to this stage, you go after what? Their money. And where's their money? On Wall Street Wall Street funnels it to the Republicans. And if they get on the higher ground that says we need to start investigating and doing exactly what Doge is doing, they're right. We need to be more efficient and we need to check for fraud. And we're going to start exactly where the Republicans' money is hidden, and that's at Wall Street. The Democrats could then have a base of people behind them that says, fuck yeah, shut it down. Shut it down. Who, if the Democrats would start screaming, what about MMTLP, Trump? You talk about corruption. Oh, now you're rocking the Republicans back on their feet, and they're gonna have they're like, wait a minute, we don't want to talk about MMTLP, AMC, GME. We don't talk about that. Oh yeah, we're going to talk about it because it's fraud, waste, and corruption that has allowed this to go on in our markets and rob people of billions of dollars. And since one of the Republicans' talking points that are fixing to come up is clawing back the Democrats' money that they robbed, what's going to happen when they start clawing back Ken Griffin and the rest of them billionaires' money? That's how you beat them people. So with that, I just wanted to get that off my chest. I can't believe that woman told that reporter, i.e. me, to sit down and be quiet. Trump's the president. We're going to do things his way. It don't work that way. Love y'all. Be blessed. See you in the next video.